The Audi RS6 is basically the perfect car. You see, it's big, so there's room for you and your family and all their stuff. It's kind of subtle-ish, so the untrained eye will think it's just a big Audi wagon. And it's got so much power, it can make the world feel like it's going in reverse when you're in a hurry. This is an Audi RS6, but it's not any RS6. This is the RS6 GT. I'm Alex Goy, you're watching Driven, and this feels like it should be the end of an era. And it sort of is, but it also sort of isn't. Let me explain. To understand this sort of end of days thing, we need to talk about names. So you might have noticed for a while there, Audi had this whole numbers system on the back of its car. A number, 10, 20, 50, whatever, would denote power and engine size. It was all very confusing. That's now gone. But then Audi said the even numbered cars, A4 and A6 for example, would be its electric cars, the e-trons, while the odd numbers would be powered by emulsified dinosaur juice. That, in theory, meant the end of things like the RS4 and RS6, two Audi performance stalwarts. They've been around for decades in one form or another, but as a full-fat e-tron RS car would be cool, would it be the same? An RS5 and RS7 would have done the job, sure, but not quite in the right way. Not too long ago, Audi revealed the combustion-engined A5, and then the electric A6 e-tron. The bold new era had begun, and then an internal combustion engine A6 appeared, which sort of screwed up that odd even number strategy thing, and also made the RS6 GT, the one that was supposed to represent the end of an era for internal combustion engine RS6s, well, it wasn't really. However, as a last hurrah for this generation of car, this is quite something. You can't really miss this one, can you? Its look is inspired by IMSA racers. Well, the paint job is. You can have it in this white with Larry decals or some subtler shades. And the massive 22-inch wheels do look ace in white, as does the whole car. It's quite hard to be stealthy in something like this, so you may as well be big, bright and silly. Now, the aesthetic is one thing, but there are more changes afoot. So the wings and the bonnet, those are carbon fibre. It's got a massive splitter and a big old moor on it, and at the back, a double spoiler. The whole thing just looks wide and mean and angry, like it's gonna eat you, but also it's quite a heavy beast. RS6 GT, well, it's about 2 and a bit tons, so no matter how much carbon fibre you put on it, there's still a lot of heft to push. And where there's heft with an RS badge on the back, you'll find power. There's a 4-litre turbocharged V8 under its carbon hood, and that kicks out 621 brake horsepower and 627 pound-foot, which is quite a lot when you think about it. 0 to 62 miles an hour takes 3.3 seconds, and you'll clip 190 miles an hour if you have the space. Audi's fiddled with the car's diffs and can now send 85% of the power to the rear, and the 8-speed auto box has been given a going over as well. To sweeten the tech deal, the regular RS6's suspension is gone. Instead, there's 3-way adjustable coilovers in each corner too. Oh, and carbon ceramic brakes to make scrubbing off speed a little bit easier. This then is an RS6, but racier, a step above. Don't get me wrong, the standard car is, well, really quite a serious proposition, but this feels more like an automotive what if. What if we made it just that extra bit more cross? Kind of reminds me a bit of BMW's CS cars, but crucially, they don't look like race cars off of the 20th century. The important question is, though, is it any good? Well, there are lots of drive modes to play with, but because the suspension is something you have to fiddle with yourself, your comfort can't change as you go. Comfort mode is nice and smooth and flowing, and there's a dynamic mode, which is the one you sort of live in because it makes it angry. When you are enjoying it in the corners, it is advantageous to have a slightly stiffer ride, and you're not going to hate it day to day. Your partner won't hate it day to day either. There is, quite laughably, an efficiency mode in case you buy a 4-litre V8 because you want to save the planet. On top of all the normal drive modes, there are 2 programmable RS modes that lets your car be as angry as you like it or as not angry as you like it, and it just makes everything a little more savage. It even changes the dash layout. That's kinda cool. It's this sort of elegant brutality. It feels smooth in the way that it squidges you back in the seat, and the noise it makes is not too offensive on the outside. You won't irritate your neighbours of a morning, but it's got a pleasant burble to it that I really rather enjoy. But of course it's a V8, and V8s, as we all know, are some of the best things in the world ever. They just make good noises and make you feel happy in the deepest, darkest part of your soul. The steering, you know, it's an all-wheel drive Audi. It's not the most precise, but you do get a decent amount of feedback through it. I quite enjoy pedalling. It's not too heavy, even in dynamic mode, but it's not too light. So you don't feel like you're driving a car on easy mode, apart from the whole put your foot down and then you're in the distance thing. That is driving on easy mode because you don't work for the power. It's just there and it's volcanic. If you want to use it as a car, it's brilliant. Set on the motorway at 70 miles an hour, it's quiet, it's quick, it's comfy. If you need to overtake something, you just flick your ankle and off you go. Very quickly. Ooh, I do forget quite how brisk it is. My only bugbear is the brakes. It's got Audi's massive carbon ceramic things. And while I've been driving it around for a little while now, I do find them a little bit grabby. They're a little bit much for my tastes. When you're in town or when you want to maybe let someone in, you put your foot on them and the car just lurches to a halt. It might take a little while for me to get used to them. I might be being a moron, but they are a bit on the grabby side. Not a huge fan of that, but when you are giving it a kicking, I mean, when you're driving it responsibly in the countryside, they aren't half handy. As a swan song for this generation RS6, it's kind of perfect. The big wild Larry looks are a brilliant evolution of the car that this came from, because you can't miss a new RS6 unless you really don't know about cars. They are pointy, they are angry, and how are you going to outdo that? Vents behind the wheels, stickers like a racing car, make it angry, make it pointy, give it white wheels that when it's sunny will actually blind you. While the look is pretty wild, and I do appreciate it, I love me a silly car, Audi might have overdone it a tiny bit with the RS6 GT badging. It's on the sills, it's on the back, it's on the side, it's even on the seats in racing red, and I get that it's a celebration of silliness, I really do, but I think it's what my mum would call a bit much, dear. I hope the next one is even half as good as this generation RS6, and even an iota as good as the RS6 GT. This thing is excellent. I'm going to miss the 4-litre turbocharged V8. I know the next one's going to be punishingly quick, but this one was just fun. It was effortless, it was easy, and it always brought a smile to my face whenever I drove one. This thing, as they go, pretty excellent. The first car I ever got in was an Audi. That first trip home from the hospital left a series of 4 rings branded into my soul. Even so, with a predisposition to like all things Audi, this thing is impressive. It's grown up and exciting and special. You know what it also is? £176,975, and there'll only ever be 60 of them in the UK, and they're all sold out, which is both a shame and a good thing. It's such a shame more people won't get to experience these, because it's glorious fun. 660 simply isn't enough of these, and it does still represent the end of an era. The next generation RS6 and RS7 will almost certainly be PHEV. There will be electric assistance, and they will be ballistically fast, that is for sure, but they won't be quite like this, you know? And you won't have to wonder what Audi's engineers would do if they were let off the chain, because we now know it's this, and it's brilliant. It's big, it's loud, it's quick, and it's got dampers you tweak yourself, except let's face it, you probably won't. Now, the RS6 started life as a sort of ordinary-ish looking estate with loads of power, and over the years it grew to be angrier, pointier, and eventually a racing car. Sort of. Ish. This was supposed to be an end of days, the marking of an era that was going. But wherever the RS6 goes from here now, this will be remembered as It's one of the best of those days.